I want you to literally stop whatever you're doing right now. Just sit down, take a deep breath, and really listen for a second. We're doing an unfiltered reality check today about the path you're currently on. We're keeping this perfectly grounded, totally normal, and completely to the point. No fluff, no extra talk, just the raw blueprint for building your life. Let's dive right into this explainer. So here's the big question you need to ask yourself. Are you actually living or are you just existing? Think about it. We all want that dream life, right? The freedom, the world travel, peace of mind, total success. But then look at your daily habits. Are you stuck endlessly scrolling on your phone? Are you making excuses? Because if your everyday actions don't match up with those big dreams, you're merely existing. Let's hit our first major section, facing reality, time and excuses. Here is a harsh truth. You aren't just killing time. Time is actually killing you. Hitting that snooze button on your alarm or scrolling for just one more hour isn't some harmless little habit. You're actively destroying pieces of your future. We have to start treating our hours like absolute gold, because once the second ticks by, it is permanently gone. This isn't a rehearsal, and there are no do-overs. Staying safe in your comfort zone feels relaxing, sure, but it actually means you're slowly dying from the inside. Think of it like a seed. If a seed just stays safe under the dark soil, it's never going to become a tree. To grow, it has to break through the dirt and face the harsh sun and wind. You have to do something uncomfortable every single day, because staying completely safe just guarantees failure. And that brings us to the ultimate lie. I'll do it later. When you tell yourself later, you're not actually making a plan. You're just listening to the voice of laziness and fear. It's a total trap set by your weaker self, because the reality is, later almost always translates to never. Eventually, time simply runs out, and you're left holding nothing but the incredibly heavy weight of regret. Moving into section 2, the inner battle, mindsets and comfort zones. We're shifting focus from the clock on the wall to the enemies inside your own head. Every single day, there is a massive you versus you battle happening. It's like the classic story of the two wolves inside your mind. One is the lazy, scared, negative version of you. The other is the hungry, confident, ambitious you. That internal war starts the very second you wake up. And the version of yourself that wins? Well, it's simply the one you choose to feed with your actions. So how do you feed the right wolf? You need willpower. And true willpower just means doing the right thing even when every feeling in your body says no. If you trust your lazy feelings, you are literally handing your entire future over to a temporary mood. So, start small. Pick one thing you absolutely do not want to do today and just do it. That's how you build that daily discipline muscle. Another massive trap is comparison. You cannot compare your entire 24-hour reality, your messy, struggling behind the scenes, to someone else's 15-second internet highlight reel. Taking your raw reality and stacking it up against a perfectly curated, filtered snippet of a stranger's life is absolutely the fastest way to wreck your confidence and kill your progress. You also have to realize that expectations are the prison of dreams. The source material shares this really powerful story about a guy named Nick. He's incredibly smart and capable, but he's completely trapped in a miserable 9-to-5 job for one reason. He's trying to meet the expectations of his family and society. Living your life just to check someone else's boxes will slowly kill your spirit. Remember, it's your life, not theirs.
All right, section 3, action overthinking. We're talking about escaping the overthinking trap and getting into execution. Overthinking very quickly morphs into paralyzing fear. You start imagining all the ways you'll fail before you've even tried, and you literally exhaust yourself before you start. There's a brilliant analogy here. Imagine a guy who reads 50 different books on how to swim. He buys the goggles, he watches all the videos, but he's never actually going to learn until he physically jumps into the water. To break out of that endless mental loop, use this concrete rule. 10 minutes of thinking, followed by 10 hours of acting. Just shut down that anxious, overanalyzing part of your brain. Let your hands move. Let your legs move. Jump into the water. Make immediate, imperfect action your brand new default setting. And to sustain that action, you have to actively starve your distractions and feed your focus. Turn off the phone, cut out toxic people, set hard, non-negotiable boundaries. The sources frame this as a mathematical reality. If you starve the distraction wolf and pour your pure, undivided focus into your goals for exactly 365 days, your life will transform in ways you can't even predict. It's not magic, it's just raw discipline.
Which leads us to Section 4, Build Your Life, Responsibility and Resilience.
This next point might sound a little harsh at first, but honestly, it's incredibly freeing. Here it is. Nobody cares about your problems. And guess what? That is your greatest power. Since nobody is coming to save you, you don't need anyone's permission for anything. You're totally free to fail, look stupid, fall flat on your face, and then rebuild yourself entirely on your own terms. Just look at Oprah Winfrey's path. She was born into extreme poverty, suffered terrible abuse, and had literally every excuse in the world to complain. But the most powerful people out there don't sit around crying about what they didn't get. They completely reject the victim role. They use their raw, undeniable hunger to build massive success from absolutely nothing. Pick yourself. You are not here to be chosen. Successful people do not wait around for the world to notice them and start clapping. The text brings up J.K. Rowling, who took 12 brutal rejections before Harry Potter was finally published. She didn't wait for the world's approval. She approved of herself and just kept pushing until she forced the world to pay attention. So stop hiding your struggles. Whether you faced betrayal, rejection, or massive failure, don't bury it under a fake smile. Take that pain and turn it into your power. Let the dark nights and the heavy heart become the ultimate fuel for your discipline and self-respect. Let your pain sharpen you, not silence you. We have to accept the reality of how the world actually works. It doesn't care one bit about your potential, it only rewards your performance. There is no such thing as perfect timing. Life is a battlefield, and it owes you absolutely nothing. If you want the crown of success, you have to stop complaining and be willing to pay the upfront cost in blood, sweat, and obsession. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to keep this firmly in your mind. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Keep walking. If you're struggling right now, just know that your worst days are really just the foundation for a much stronger version of you. The source material reminds us that you are a storm waiting to rise. So pick up your heart, fix your posture, and whatever you do, do not stop walking. Which leaves us with one final, unavoidable challenge for you today. Why not now? Don't wait for next week. Don't wait for next year. Take one physical step toward your new life today. Give me one solid reason why you can't start right this second. Honestly, you won't find any. The time is now.